Sorry about that. So anyway, I was sitting with a friend and we were just chatting, and I wasn't even worried about my kids. And my kids apparently weren't with me. They were with my husband. And I was chatting with a friend, and the friend we were talking about God, and she was telling me about something that happened to her when she was little, and I was talking, and she asked me my story, and I was about to tell her, and I said, oh, that's a God story, and she got excited. She's like, oh, I love God stories. And then someone came into our conversation that I don't think I knew, but I think she knew. I'm not sure. But anyway, she was like, she came in as if we were her friends, which was kind of cool. And she's like, oh, I love God stories. Tell me more, tell me more. So I started to tell her my God story as I was a little kid. I said I started saying I was born with this medical condition, and it's really rare, and nobody knew what it was, and as I was saying it, she interrupted me, and she said, oh, I was born with a medical condition when I was little, and it's called this, and something Hodgkin, something, I don't know, any names of medical conditions like that. But she said she was born with this, and then all of a sudden I was standing, and none of this was happening, and then I was with Crystal, which was a friend of mine that I haven't seen in years, and she was standing beside me, and I said, can you see those little girls coming? And there was like little girls, they look like they were, I feel like I'm gonna cry right now, I don't know why, but there were little girls dressed in like little brown plain Jane, like they look like the girls look like they couldn't be more than 5 years old, but they weren't girls. I felt like they were angels, and they were dressed in these brown outfits that were like, they look like those peasant outfits on the movies. And anyway, I just feel the Holy Spirit on me huge right now, which I don't usually when I'm sharing a dream like this, but it was so intense, and the last few minutes was really intense. So anyway, this was a rapture dream, by the way, and I saw the little girls, and then all of a sudden I heard the noise, and I was like, my kids aren't with me. I was so scared, and I was like really terrified that they weren't with me, but I knew from God telling me in another YouTube video, thank you very much from whoever did that, but they said, don't look back. And so I said, Crystal, don't look back. And then I started shouting to everyone, don't look back, don't look back. I feel like I can't say it right now, weird, but I can't shout it. But anyway, and so I was shouting, don't look back, to everyone, and I didn't hear anybody responding to me, but we were being whirled up. It was like really weird. We were inside of a building all of a sudden. We were outside at first, and then all of a sudden we were inside of a building, and I think it was just God showing me, because I'll tell you in a minute. But in the building, we were whirling and whirling and whirling, and like all around the building. And I think that it was the whole don't look back thing had to do with something with that. And then on the ceiling of the building, there was these things that you could grab onto while we were whirling, and they looked like little tiny punch bags, but I don't know what they were. Anyway, so people were grabbing onto them because they were like scared that they were whirling, so they were holding onto them for their dear lives. And now that I am realizing, I feel like this is the worldly treasures or something. I don't know what, yeah, that's the symbol. That's the Holy Spirit telling me that's the symbol. It's the worldly treasures people are holding on to and they don't want to let go. And so while people are grabbing onto this, there's this big long curtain, and I grabbed onto it. I don't know why it was me, but I grabbed onto it, but I think it's so I can tell you this. But it was, there's a Bible verse, and I don't know what verse it is, and I don't even know what it's pertaining to. I think it's pertaining to our walk with God, and it says the veil is torn. And so there was this big curtain, and I grabbed it, and it was tearing. And then I kept in my head, it was the Holy Spirit saying, don't look back, don't look back, don't look back. So I wasn't looking back. And then I heard this super loud voice, like, do you trust me? But it wasn't those words, it was other words. And I don't know what it was, but I felt like it meant, do you trust me? And while we were all whirling still, there was like this really small, in this building, there was this small, which I think is the narrow gate, this small chimney, and that's when I heard the voice, when I was just about to go whirl up towards the chimney. And I was like, I trust you, God. I trust you, God. And I went up. I don't know. I woke up. I didn't even see myself go up to the chimney. But I just thought this dream was really relevant to share with you guys. And I hope it's an eye-opener that we need to stop living the way of the world, and that we need to focus on God all the time. Like, I'm talking all the time, because if we don't, we are going to we're going to lose our place in heaven. And we need to be on guard right now at all times. I love you guys, and that is why I'm speaking the truth of the Bible and the truth of Jesus Christ.